Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at another Cthulhu Wars expansion. This one is Great Old One Pack 2. This one's got 4 minis in it. 2 of them are rather large and the other 2 are kind of hidden behind this banner here. Again, this is another part of my buddy Wyatt's Kickstarter stuff, which he's awesome enough to let me see for him, so thanks to him for that. But these are put out by Petersen Games, ages 14 and up. You do need the core box of Cthulhu Wars to play. This is just an expansion with some extra guys. So here we're getting 4 loyalty cards, 4 unique spellbooks, 6 web tokens, plus 4 detailed minis. We got the Adalacha Nacha, Bokrug, Father Dagon, and somebody whose name I'm not even... yeah, I'm gonna have to try it. Gehanatha? Something like that. Good enough. It's a made-up word anyway, so I don't think anybody gets offended. Too bad. Deal with it. So let's open this up and see what it looks like inside. Now, last episode we looked at Great Old One Pack 1, which was really good, so I have really high hopes for this one. And I think Old One Pack 4 we opened in a earlier video. So yeah, we're going to see all 4 of them. Number 3 is going to come up here in a few. But that one just has 1 mini in it. So, let's see what we got here. Alright, so we'll look at the minis closer in a second. In the meantime, we're going to look at these. And I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can get a better look. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. Alright, first off, here's our 6 web tokens. And they have this creepy little spider thing going here. And it's the same on both sides. And it's the standard quality thickness that I come to expect from this company. I'm always impressed with the quality of the tokens. So, I'm real happy about that. The card's the same way. These are all nice and solid. Now, these are independent Great Old Ones. We did read the general backing of these several times now, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it for this video because my voice is starting to go. And quite honestly, I'm just tired of reading it. So these are independent Great Old Ones, but so Awakening, this one is Adalacha Nacha, something like that, cost of 6. 1, your controlled gate is in an area with your Great Old One. 2, pay 6 power and place Adalacha Nacha in the area containing the gate. Combat value of 4. Spinneret's action cost of 1. If Adalacha Nacha is in your area, is in an area that is lacking a web token, place 1 there. Oh, so he likes to feel at home. Now, to get the spell, web tokens are in 6 different areas. Now, it doesn't say that they go away, or that you can even remove them. So, to get the spell, that's to get the spell. The spell itself, Cosmic Web, action, cost of 0. Immediately win the game, even with fewer than 6 spellbooks on your faction card. Well, alright then. So, you really just have to move them around. That's a little broken, maybe. Although if you put 3 or 4 out and then he gets killed and the other player snatches him up and puts him somewhere else, that could really backfire on you. Bokrug. How to awaken Bokrug. Or Bokrug. Cost of 4. 1, your controlled gate is in an area with your Great Old One. 2, pay 4 power and place Bokrug in an area containing the gate. Combat of 1. Ongoing, Ghosts of Ib. If Bokrug is killed, do not lose this loyalty card. Instead, place him on this card. At the end of the next Doom phase, return him to the map to any area not containing enemy units. If there are no such area, he remains placed on the card until the next Doom phase. This ability is not optional. Alright, so to get the spell, take this loyalty card, hand it to the player of your choice. He then places Bokrug's spellbook on this card and it becomes active. Well, that stinks. Spell. The Doom that came to Sarnath. Doom phase. This ability is not optional. At the end of the Doom phase, select an enemy and select one of these two options. 1. He chooses a monster or cultist of yours to eliminate. 2. He chooses one of your Elder Signs to discard. Alright, so not quite as horrible as the other one, as far as like the game being over, but pretty bad nonetheless. Alright, next we have Father Dagon. To awaken him, cost of 4. 1. Your controlled gate is in an area with your Great Old One. 2. Pay 4 power and place Father Dagon in an area containing the gate. Combat. 2 on land, 6 in an ocean or sea area. Tsunami. Action. Cost 1. Choose a land area adjacent to an ocean sea area. All cultists in the area must be moved into adjacent ocean sea areas by their owners. This includes your cultists. In a dispute over who moves first, you decide. To get the spellbook, you have 8 units in an ocean sea area. The Innsmouth Look is the spell. Doom phase. During the Doom phase, eliminate one of your Alkalite cultists from the map and out of the game permanently. Gain 6 power. This is not optional. If you have no Alkalite cultists on the map, there is no effect. That's a good way to lose all your cultists. Alright, lastly we have, it would be the hard to pronounce one. Gatanothoa? Cost of 4. Number 1, your controlled gate is always in an area with your Great Old One. Number 2, pay 4 power and place them in an area containing the gate. Combat equals your opponent's total cultists on the map. Mummify. Action. Cost 1. Any enemy Alkalite cultists sharing an area with are immediately mummified. Lay mummified cultist figures on their side. Such cultists cannot use the move action. Do not participate in battle, and during the next gather power phase, produce no power. During the Doom phase, stand the cultist back up. A mummified cultist still controls the gate it is on and can be captured. Now to get the spell. Choose 1. Either your total gates plus cultists is fewer than 6 in the Doom phase, or as your action, pay 4 power. The spell, Execration of Mu, ongoing. The Mummify ability is no longer in action. It now occurs instantly when an enemy Alkalite cultist share an area with Gatanothoa. Alright, that's, yeah, he's pretty harsh. It's gonna cost you a lot of cultists. Alright, so let's take a look at these minis. Let's see what we got here. So here is Gatanothoa, however you pronounce that. It's got like some spider-like legs. Scary looking bubbly body here. It's really nicely crafted mini. Nice solid heft to it. Lots of detailing. These back legs are glued on, all of them. So I'm not as worried about those because they are rather big, but these smaller ones are likely to come off if you drop it or it gets thrown across the room by an angry person that had to fight against him. So yeah, but nice big mini. Real happy with that. That's a really nice looking one. Alright, next we've got Father Dagon, who Father Dagon's more reptilian looking. Nice smooth angles. Not as heavily detailed, but the face is really detailed. And this wave/tail thing going on here, that's pretty intricate. If you want to get real crazy with painting, this would be the place to do it. Because you could probably do different colors and really trace it around and be like puzzle-like. Yeah, nice mini, solid piece. I think it's 2 pieces. This tail thing here is a separate piece other than the main body, but otherwise, yeah, nice mini. Alright, next we've got Bakrug, That's another cool looking mini. Another reptilian type creature. The tongue sticking out would worry me a little bit, honestly. It looks like this head piece. Oh no, the lower jaw, maybe. Yeah, the lower jaw's got a slight seam. You can't really see it too well until you look in the mouth a little bit. But that lower jaw with this tongue thing on it is a separate piece. So I'm not too worried about that. It's pretty solid. I'd be more worried about busting off the tips and maybe snapping this. Because that's... Is that a separate piece? Yeah, the tongue is glued on inside, but it sticks out enough I'd be kind of worried about breaking it right here instead of back where it's glued. But it's a real cool looking mini. Pretty sketchy monster. There's lots of pebbling on the skin, very leather-like. So there's a lot more texture than is probably showing up on camera. Which would look really cool when it's painted. The tail is a separate piece as well. But it's not as noticeable. So yeah, another cool piece. Alright, and lastly we've got Atlach Nacha, which is just this big spider guy. Real scary looking thing. If you don't like spiders, don't look at this thing. So it looks like a big scary spider. The extra wall piece here probably wasn't necessary, but it's probably to reinforce the weight of it and to keep it standing up because it's kind of attached down there. You can't see it real well, but there is a little piece from this wall to the main body because these little legs aren't going to support the weight of the heavy plastic here. So, yeah, really nice mini, real heavy. The body's got this like bulbous spider look. It looks very realistic. Overall, real nice set. These ones would worry me a little more than the first Great Old One pack. I think these are a little bit more broken, especially Atlach Nacha. I think that one could be a real frustrating one to fight against, because if he's off on the other end of the board and no matter how well you're doing, he's got 5 of those tokens out, you have to focus all your fire on him, and that could be really just irritating, honestly. So that one I might not play with, especially early on, especially if you're trying to introduce someone new to the game and you want them to come back and maybe play again. That one might have to sit out until you've reached a higher level of gameplay. Other than that, these would be pretty good additions, I think. Probably not as good as the first one. They're a little more broken, but I think they're more aimed at like they did a good job of putting in more overpowered ones together, I think. So these are all very powerful and I think are real potential game changers. So it could be interesting. I'm intrigued to try them out, but I think I'd have to work up to playing with Atlach, because that's a tough one. And that could really get frustrating real fast. But at any rate, that's the Cthulhu Wars Great Old One Pack 2. You will, of course, need the core Cthulhu Wars box set to play, but the minis look good on their own. They're painted up. They'd make really cool display pieces. But that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.